Commissioner Miller.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. Let me thank everyone, regardless if you're on whatever side, pro or con of this issue, for taking time out to come down and speak today. It's good to see people get involved in government and their concerns, regardless of which side you're on. Someone mentioned my name earlier concerning discrimination, and a gentleman came up, a pastor, and talked about discrimination in the civil rights movement. I don't think anyone on this board has faced discrimination like I have, eyeball to eyeball. I was born in the city of Tampa in 1951. When we had to go to restaurants, and many of you might not know what we're talking about, Chloe Coney probably does, we had to get our food through a pigeonhole. You know what a pigeonhole is? It's a little circle on a building that they have the waiter sitting there, and if you're African American, you're black, back at that time you were a Negro, you go there to order your food, they bring the food in as you stood on the street and hand it to you, sometimes throw it at you through that window. I'm the only one sitting up here to probably drink water out of a separate water fountain, white and colored. Or go to a bathroom that was labeled white and colored. I went to a school that when you open the school up, book up, because I went to a segregated school, the pages were missing in the book because the books were handed down to you. Or when you're singing the choir, and I went to Lato High School and walked in the choir room and thought I'd gone to heaven because there were some of the things I saw in that school were nowhere near what we had in Middleton or Blake High School. Or having been called the N-word when I was in my U.S. Air Force uniform, my daughter with me. And she looked at me when that would happen and say, "Daddy, what is the N-word?" And I had to try to explain to her what it was. I was representing my country during the Vietnam era. So I don't think anyone has faced discrimination like I faced discrimination. Now, someone came up and said, the civil rights era is no comparison to what this is. You're right, but hatred is hatred, bigotry is bigotry, discrimination is discrimination, and regardless, it is painful. It is painful. And I have been blessed to be a part of this community all my life. Now, someone talks about the Bible and how you use the Bible and how I use the Bible. I'm a deacon in a Black Baptist church. And yes, I use a scripture today when I open the prayer. And I fear the Lord, but I know he's blessed me because I'm a 3-time cancer survivor, and I'm sitting here talking to you, so I know I'm a living testimony. But let me tell you something else. There was an organization that took the words of the Bible and twisted it where they wanted to twist it. It's called the Ku Klux Klan. And as they twisted the Bible and burned crosses on lawns and in churches, in front of churches, and bombed churches and hung people, they also quoted the Bible. So you can turn it any way you want to turn it. But I turn it the way I want to turn it and say, love thy neighbor as thyself. I have faced discrimination eyeball to eyeball. I have been called the N-word as I wore a military uniform defending this country. I have also been terminated from employment because of the color of my skin, not the content of my character or the ability to think on my feet or to articulate words in the right, proper manner. No, because I was black, because I was a Negro, or because whatever you want to call me. That hurts. Discrimination hurts, regardless of race, creed, color, national origin, or sexual orientation. It is time. It is time to repeal this ugly ordinance that hangs over the head of this county. And I'm going to be voting to repeal it. Understand that. I'll be voting to repeal it.
Commissioner Beckner.